and a warm welcome back to Blown Away.
Not bad for a rookie. Just one slip with the chisel.
And in this week's episode we are finishing off some more of the floor panels. Remember, I have 5 of these big panels to make. It's taking some time. Hi, I'm Ian and I live on a 1978 steel ketch called Blown Away. Now Blown Away has been my home for over 20 years. Welcome to the adventure.
And when I was back in the UK, I took the time to order some deck hardware. So these are the new lifting rings for the floor panels. That's my next job. So came out at 107. So that is 53.5 to the centres. So 53.5 is there. Really? I don't think we'll be using those screws. Ooh, shiny. Very, very shiny. So as you can see, it's it does have a bulge to it, so I do need to run the router across this, hence I am marking them out. So I'm using the back to make the marks, and then I will route and flip and screw these back in. It's jobs like this are the reason I bought those new chisels. Last time I did work like this with the old chisels, it was just horrible. The old chisels were just, they've been used for too many other purposes, like screwdrivers or something. Okay. I'll take these out with me and then I can fit them. Be super careful putting those screws in. I'm going to drill the hole out to the correct size for those screws, because the last thing I need is a broken screw in these new boards. That would just ruin my day.
So with the cutout marked, it's time to get the router into action and machine away the recess for these new floor rings.
I'm just working with the grain. I want to go against the grain because then I have to use a hammer, and I have to use a hammer. Something splits. Okay, pretty good. And the dish bit on this is bigger, I have to go deeper in the middle, and then this piece goes around that way, like so. Not bad for a rookie. Here's my intentions to bed these in Sikaflex, and the reason for doing that is that I don't want them pulling out of the holes. So if I put them in with Sikaflex and screws, they are never coming out. So on occasions I may make a mistake. I may make a mistake. Hard thing to admit, but it's true. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Look at this. One slip with the chisel. Just one slip with the chisel. And now I've got to get the glue out. So frustrating. So very, very, very frustrating.
And that is why they invented wood glue with sawdust. Made the repair completely invisible, you'll never know it was there.
I think sometimes the hardest part of doing this is not damaging the things you've already repaired. Just simple things like getting stuff in and out of the boat. You can do so much damage.
And to get these next two floor panels to line up properly, I need to remove the remainder of the old floor.
I don't think Nelson's ever going to get off this boat.
Panel number 5, and part of the reason we are changing this are the repairs that I've had to make to this over the years, and as you can see, they're not very pretty. This was just to strengthen it, to hold it together. It was glued and screwed as the panel was just flexing too much, so hopefully the new ones won't move around quite so badly. Let's hope.
Please, the bin.
They've got a rust coat on them overnight. Look at this, look. They have a rust coating on them from overnight. Like, how is that marine grade? That's not brass. They're like brass electroplate crap. Now I'm gonna have to go through my inventory of screws to find some the same length that are actually brass.
So I've got the panels out. That's 4 of them. There is a 5th one which I haven't made as yet. So we're going to sit down with some epoxy and we are going to seal those panels using straightforward West System epoxy. I'm not going to water it down, I'm not going to thicken it up, I'm putting it on just like I would with a paint.
and because it attaches itself to the wood so well, this will be like rock. There we go. The back of all 4 boards are now soaked, impregnated in epoxy, and that is how they will probably remain. I don't see me doing any other coatings on there, to be honest. I'm sure they'd look lovely painted white, etc., but I don't want to do all that. It just makes a rod for my own back, then I have to keep painting them. So yeah, now I just wait for that to go off, because if I do anything else, the sawdust that I create is just going to end up in those panels. But she's looking pretty good, to be fair. I think catching up with the maintenance it needed doing anyway. This is more restoration work than it is maintenance, to be fair. These are the originals are 50 years old, so this is a restoration rather than a maintenance schedule. So yesterday I epoxied the back of the boards. These will get lightly sanded, and then obviously some of it wraps around while you're doing it. So I'm now going to lightly sand all of these areas here to get rid of this, which actually feels soft, which is scary.
And this will be the final sanding before the frames get a full varnish during the summer. So I'm using a very light grade of sandpaper on my multi-tool.
Nothing for me to stand on.
No squeaks, no clunks, no rattles, very small gaps. I'm going to call that a success.
There you go. It's not perfect, you know, like the gaps here. I can do a closing maybe a little, but give me a break. I'm not a joiner. I openly admit that. I do the best I can. I'm quite happy with this. It's better than it was, and that's the main thing to me, so it's fine. No one's going to put a foot through it and put carpet down on it now and cover it back up. That's a fact. Okay, bye. These boxes are so fragile. Be so careful fixing them back in. I'm trying to keep a gap between the floorboard and the box, but probably not going to happen. Some of my appliances are on UK 3-pin plugs, but because I've been out of the UK for so many years, a lot more of my appliances are now 2-pin. But, yeah, I hate electricity. 240 volt. Can't see it, can't smell it. When you find it, it kills you. My eldest son is an electrician, so probably he's watching this thinking that's shockingly bad, Dad. Yeah, if you live on a boat, then being able to make these repairs is almost essential, because you won't find people to do this work, and if you do, they'll charge you a lot of money and they'll do a really bad job, in my experience. And I've been out here a long time. We have our permanent charging station for Apple devices and a permanent charging station for GoPro cameras. And I'm leaving the carpet on for now to protect the wood while I'm doing other jobs. But my goal when this is finished is to remove the carpet completely here, and this will just be wood.
Now it's time to plan the fifth and final panel. Now this one shouldn't be too bad, it is just rectangular with no slices to cut out. However, there are a couple of problems with the supports holding the floor panel in position. So I need to reinforce the existing floor supports to make sure they can take the load of the new floor panel.
Okay, I just need to trim that a little bit. 128. The widest point is 47. Unfortunately, we have more bad weather coming in tomorrow, so I won't be outside chopping wood. Let's get this done. Okay, now this is actually going into the fridge insulation, which is obviously pretty thin. It's a thin wall panel, but it's about 8mm. So I want to get a nice amount of surface attachment. And the screws will also hold it in position, obviously, but for me I think the glue is going to be probably the bit that works the best. Done. Another job off my list.
And join me again next week when we experience a little more van life in Greece. And a massive shout out to our monthly Ko-fi supporters, the McKenna family, David Luchford, Captain Svetlana, Eric Backland, Trev, thank you so much for your support. And the Ko-fi donations keep rolling in. Thank you very much to these attractive people on your screen right now for helping an old coffee addict. And also big shout out to my monthly Patreon supporters, Matt, Michael, Ian, Miles, Timothy, JG, Graham Elvey and Jim Bracken. Thank you gentlemen, your support goes a long way in the making of these videos and very much appreciate your help. And if you've made it this far in the video, hopefully we will see you again next week. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and if you'd like to watch more of these videos, click the button on the left. See ya!